Hey guys, welcome to the Bandemic Podcast, brought to you by Kinsman. I am your host, Ray Ibarra. Tonight on the show, we have Mr. José Félix from San Juan Underground. He's a guitar player from Puerto Rico, and tonight we're going to be discussing some amazing things about jazz, gear, and a few things that are going on in his life. Stick around, it's going to be a great show. Hey guys, welcome to the show tonight. Tonight we have a great guitar player from San Juan Underground, Mr. José Félix. José, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Hey, everything's good, a pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Definitely interesting for musicians and people just in general. It's crazy, but I can imagine, especially for musicians, the pandemic's having a big weight on you guys. We'll get to that, but can we first start with a little bit about your history and how you started playing? What is your history with music? Did you come from a musical family or?
Well, in terms of, all right, there's in my family, there are guitar builders.
Whoa, nice.
Not specifically players, but my great uncle and my uncle, my mom's brother, they make handmade flamenco and classical guitars, like really good quality guitars,
Crazy. That's nice, man. So you come from a musical family.
Yeah. And my mother plays mandolin also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So where are you from? How do you get started playing music? Obviously you come from a family, but where did you first pick it up?
All right. So I'm 34 now. I started playing when I was 8.
Okay.
And this was in Puerto Rico. I remember just telling my mom that I wanted to be a drummer.
Nice.
And nobody taught drums. Like there were no drum teachers.
Okay.
Back home. They were more in the 90s, like more percussion and stuff like this. And we went to the store to the academy that had like a little music store in it.
Yeah.
Right? So they tell me, we don't have drum teachers.
Okay.
And I'm just in the store walking by myself, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid, and I see this red electric guitar, like those. You remember those '80s Super Strats?
Yes.
Like it was like a Dean Super Strat with the little wings on the neck, and I'm like, I want to play that. And that's how thanks to the Super Strats.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who influenced you or was there any musical influences that were like, oh man, that I saw that guy playing guitar and I want to do what he does?
Well, at that time, what I don't remember clearly, my mom would tell me that I was asking her to play guitar when I was like 4.
Oh, okay.
Because my uncle was playing and I was hypnotized,
Yeah.
But what really got me, it was like one of those, I think it was maybe Jarabe de Palo. I don't know if you've heard about them, like a Spanish band.
Yeah.
They had started to be like kind of big back in Puerto Rico, with all that Cuban music that they were putting in it. And I just remember one of those solos they had in in 1994,
Yeah.
One of those solos, I just heard it and I remember just thinking, I want to do that sound. What is that sound?
Nice.
I thought it was a saxophone at first, but it turns out it was an electric guitar.
Well, at 4 years old, it's forgiven, right? Because at 4, we don't really know what's a guitar, what's a sax. We just know that's music and that's noise, and I like that. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you play music throughout high school or middle school or anything like that? Or was it something that you just did outside of school?
Oh, yeah, man. I was like in my hometown. I'm from Bayamon, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And I might be the only human being in Bayamon's history that got my guitar confiscated in middle of class because I was playing.
Couldn't put it down.
Yeah, and I was always playing, and I got into music like around 8, and like a year later, my brother wanted to be a drummer, so he started drumming.
Nice.
Which is what I wanted to do all the time, right? And my brother is like 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So his friends, the older kids, for me, 2 years is a lot when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And they just started doing bands, and they started getting me into their bands. And I like since I was like 12 or 13, I've been in little bands and stuff.
Nice. So did you study music, or was it just? Are you self-taught? What's your background with that?
No, I studied music. I studied music at the Inter-American University of Puerto Rico.
Okay. What was the focus?
I studied
Oh,
performance,
nice.
so popular music and jazz and Caribbean studies.
Nice.
So it's performance, yeah. And back home, that's one of the things that thanks to that I kind of play well, because back home, if you're not really good, you're never gonna make a dime
Okay.
playing. Like everybody's so good, and it's a lot of competition. And if you don't play good, nobody's gonna pay attention to you.
I got you.
So that is kind of like a thing that I like about back home, that competition stuff.
Yeah. You have to be good, or else you're nothing.
And that's good, because that'll because people say, oh no, it's not a competition. Well, it is, because it's a competition with yourself. You gotta get better than you.
Yeah. So who were your idols or guitar heroes growing up?
Oh, that's a long story.
We got time.
Like if we were to, let me see. Well, when I started playing music, I liked the like Jarabe de Palo, like I told you. And then you know how all kids are, you get into metal, right?
Yes.
So I started. Like the first album that I ever bought was Kill 'Em All.
Nice.
Like by Metallica. And so Kirk Hammett was a big thing. And then I remember him talking about other guitarists, and I just started, I would get the guitar players and stuff and just read who they liked and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just kept searching, and then I started listening to Motorhead, but then their guitarist was influenced by Richie Blackmore, but then Richie Blackmore by Joe Pass.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a lot of guitarists. But if I were to say what changed everything, I was like a metalhead, right? And around 10 or 11, I was really, like, I had my concert shirt, like the same Rob Zombie Dirty Broken shirt,
Nice.
And my brother gave me 2 albums. He gave me Muddy Banks of Whiskas, like, so it's like a live album by Nirvana.
Okay.
He gave me that album, and he gave me Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix.
Nice.
And then once I heard Electric Ladyland, I just, like, oh, that I have to be better than him, like that was my thing. I have to be better than that guy.
Wow.
And he got me into that, and then consequently, then in college, then everybody was showing me all these new guys like Kurt Rosenwinkel, which is one of the best guitarists alive right now. And everybody started getting me into Joe Pass. And once you see Joe Pass, I just gave up.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I cannot be better than this guy,
Especially with his thumb. It was just like, what is he doing?
No, dude, everything. And that's the thing. He played with his pick at first. It was really fast. Like he would do Donna Lee with a pick really fast, everything really fast. And then he said, I just started playing slower, so I could do chords and accompany myself. And I'm just thinking, and you say that slower, and it's still really fast with his thumb. It's incredible.
Yeah. So was that was your kind of gateway towards jazz?
I would say that, and that was into jazz guitar, like appreciating it, not really actually wanting to do it myself.
Yeah.
But just appreciating it and like giving up a little bit, like, all right, I gotta take it easy. Like, this guy's too good. But what really got me into jazz, like to play it, was this is a 1966 Miles Davis album, Smiles.
Yes.
That album, that has Footprints, like that, and that's a song that I always like to play. Footprints, I love that song.
Yes.
That's the album that I said, like, oh man, you can play jazz and not sound like a kid thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do jazz and not sound like a dork, and that's the album that made me realize that like jazz could be like really cool.
Yeah. So do you define yourself more as a jazz guitar player now, or more as a just super rounded guitar player?
Man, if you ask me personally, when I realized that I was kind of getting a bit good was when I started playing a lot of blues stuff.
Okay.
And people would say, "Oh man, you're good," and I still consider myself, if I were to say the best thing that I do would be blues.
Okay.
I don't do it a lot around, but because everybody does it already. But that's like the thing that I can do it in my sleep.
Nice.
But jazz and stuff, it's just challenging and I enjoy it, but I just consider myself a guitarist, I would say.
Nice. Who?
Because I like salsa, I like samba,
Yeah.
like there's so much music that I cannot consider myself like, oh, one thing,
Yeah. So who are your favorite blues guys?
Blues guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the two. I got my two.
Okay.
With all respect, because I know there's a lot of them out there. I would say number one, Robert Johnson.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, and just being able to solo and sing that well and all of that stuff at the same time. That's the one that I say, oh, I would like to do that,
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, it would be Son House.
Oh,
would be
nice.
Death Letter Blues, it made me like, wow, music can be this dark, like music that's not heavy, like just guitar, voice, everything acoustic, so dark and heavy, and it just amazes me.
Nice. So you studied music in school, and you said it was just an all around just music program. What were your goals as far as like, were you going to be a working musician? Did you want to be a touring musician? Did you want to be a studio musician? Where were you at?
Man, I was doing all of that since I was studying, so for me it was really, it doesn't sound as pleasant as I would like, but I just wanted to be the best. I just wanted to be better than all my friends that were studying with me.
Nice.
And it was always that thing, like I just wanted to be, I just wanted to be better than everybody. That was in a healthy way, not in a, in a selfish kind of way. I just wanted to, yeah.
Nice. So you're from Puerto Rico. How did you get to the Coastal Bend? That's a little bit of a jump.
No, so because of the Hurricane Maria,
yes,
that hit Puerto Rico a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We were like, we were all living there, and as you know, everything got destroyed, and I left like a month or two later after it was so bad, nothing was happening, like really bad stuff was happening, like in the island, in terms of, the gas shortages and everybody was fighting for gas, stealing gas even from the hospitals,
wow.
Weird, like heavy. So I went to Florida like for a month.
Okay.
And I was there like for a month. I'm sorry, Florida. I like Florida. Florida is great. But to like as a musician, it's like highways and malls. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So Ali, the bassist from San Juan, we were playing in Puerto Rico. So Ali calls me and says, "Hey man, he had family in Corpus. His dad is from Corpus.
Okay.
So he said, hey, we can go there and see what happens there. And we just got here and everybody was super great with us and everybody loved how we played and it just worked.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Like I remember hearing the band name around town and being curious and being like, oh man, there's a combo here in town that's playing a lot. So how did you guys break into the scene as far as, because you guys play a lot. I see the billboards everywhere and I'm like, okay, these guys are pretty dedicated. So how did you?
So man, I would say, we have pretty faces, so that helps. No, that's a joke. I would say we just went to Guitar Center. You're a musician in a new town. Naturally, the first thing you're gonna do is go to Guitar Center or to a music store, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Guitar Center, and there was this guy there, and I played like 5 minutes, right? I just tried a guitar, I played, and he said, "Oh, dude, you play nice. Like, you can talk to these people." And it was like Vino Mio that was in the tables, and he said, "Just go there, dude." And we went there. There were some kids from some guys from A&M playing jazz, so we stood up and jammed like a song, and everybody loved it. And then we got a steady gig weekly there as soon as we started playing.
Nice.
Then like a couple of other places fell, but people like it, people enjoy it because there's a lot of places that you can just go and play jazz and people are gonna throw bottles at you if you start playing jazz in some places, but here people are pretty open, culturally it's a pretty open pretty accepting, part of the country.
Yeah. Usually, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of diversity here. So I've also seen you playing bass a few times. Are you a bassist as well, or is that just something that you do to?
That's my second instrument that I studied.
Nice.
Because when you study performance, you gotta have your primary. Then you pick whatever secondary instrument you want.
Wow.
But you also have the complementary piano, so you have to play at least 3 instruments.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that's the one that I picked because automatically, you're a guitarist bass.
Yeah.
But I found out quickly that it's not the same. Yeah.
Definitely not in the jazz world. Definitely not in the jazz world.
No. I give it up to jazz bassists, man, because that's another thing,
Yeah. So do you find that influencing your guitar playing? Like just thinking of where the bass player is going?
A lot.
Nice.
Like more than it should, maybe,
So do you get into like Charlie Hunter or the guys that do?
Oh, please don't get me started on Charlie Hunter, man. That guy. Dude, check out whenever you can. There's a performance of him. It's in Portland.
Okay.
Just write Portland PDX and Charlie Hunter do that concert. Wow, that when I first because I had seen him when he came out like in the 90s, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But then when he started getting like less complicated and started grooving and stuff, I was it's just he's a one-man band, and
yeah.
You're the bassist and the guitarist for any band you want. That'd be amazing,
Dude, I love on his Instagram he has the tambourine techniques that he's working on, and he just kind of shows you what he's doing the tambourine. I'm like, this dude's a machine. You know what I mean? Like he can he can isolate so much with his thumb and with his fingers and just all the way around that I'm just like, how do you disconnect? You know what I mean? Because these fingers are doing one thing, this thumb's doing another thing, and then he sings on top of it, and you're just like, oh man.
If you ever have an opportunity, I have this friend. He's from Jacksonville originally.
Okay.
He lives right now. He lives a little bit south of Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. This guy's name is Taylor Roberts.
Okay.
And he has opened for Charlie.
Wow.
And this guy, it's the same, but he does it instead of the bass and guitar concept. He has like one of those 7-string Benedetto, really nice, handmade. Dude, and that guy is the same as Charlie, but he does an interesting thing. He does that, the Charlie Hunter thing, but he does he covers that you would never imagine, like somebody that, like he does Michael Jackson stuff. He does like Jamiroquai stuff. Like he does a lot of stuff, and he's good.
Nice.
He does those arrangements, and he's pretty good.
So you mentioned Benedetto, and I have to ask, are you a gear guy? Do you like gear?
You know how it is.
Well, we have a bunch of guys that are gear guys that watch the show. So
perfect. So we're the same tribe.
Yeah, so let's geek out for a little while. Tell me about what you're playing, because I've seen you with it looks like a Tennessee Rose.
Ooh, that's good that you say that, because that means you're a smart man, but you are mistaken.
Oh, what is it?
It's a Gibson Country Gentleman. When Chet Atkins switched to Gibson.
Yes.
So it's an L5. There, I have it right here.
The only thing that threw me off was that it has the red inlays, right?
And it has the layout, you see, of the.
Nice.
It has the same layout.
Nice.
And the little red thing is on it.
Yes. Man, where did you find that? Tell us the story.
How did I get that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm so lucky. So in Puerto Rico, there's this guy called, people call him Mundo.
Okay.
Raimundo.
That's my name.
And this guy, you go to his house. Yeah, so Raimundo, he has so much gear. And he fixes gear and trades gear, and like thanks to him, I've tried like 1960s 330s and 345s,
nice.
like really nice guitars, really weird amps that you never see anywhere.
Yeah.
And I had this friend of mine sold me sold me this really good guitarist called Eddie Trugo. He sold me a Firebird.
Okay.
But he sold it to me really cheap, like for like a brand new Firebird, like for $900, something like that.
Nice.
But that was when it was a bit more expensive, now everything,
Yeah, everything's jumped.
And I took the Firebird to Mundo, and he told me, "Hey, I have a guitar that I would trade you for it, but it doesn't have a case." Huh. And I'm like, "Oh, let me see it," and I'm kind of like, "Oh, it doesn't have a case, shit." What am I? And dude, and he brings out this guitar, and I just had my eyes open, like, oh man. And I just told him, "Hey, let's trade." I just wanted to trade it. I just didn't want him to change his mind,
Yeah.
So I got that, and that's the guitar I've played the most, I think.
Nice.
Like that guitar. And my first good guitar is the one that I actually played the most, which I had my first good guitar when PRS, like the custom 22s were like, you could make them like however you wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I want it with this and different measurements in the neck, and they would still be less than $2,000.
Wow.
So I got one made like in 2001.
Oh my gosh.
And dude, that guitar, I used it for years and years and years and years. But, then I was, I wanted to be cool. and I traded it for some.
No.
Like, yeah, dude, like I'm such a asshole. I traded it for like a Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat.
Nice. Well, that's still a good one. It
was good, but then I realized, like, I look at this guitar with some other dude's name on it. It's like, oh.
That is funny, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, I see.
So are you more of a hollow body guy, just in general now, or what do you say you gravitate to as far as guitars?
It depends when I'm playing, what I play,
Okay.
Because I also like, I went to Denver recently and got this Melody Maker.
Nice.
Really cheap, like one of those 59 reissues.
Yeah.
And I like Telecasters,
okay.
And I have like a Fender, the hollow body Fender that's all weird. It's kind of looks like it melted.
Yes.
Starcaster. I have one of those.
Nice.
I have a nice Telecaster that I'll tell you about later in private.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. and I like that. I just like gear, man. It's I like having amps and pedals and.
Yeah. So what are you playing as far as amps these days?
Right now, I have a couple, but usually the one that I like the most is a Gibson GA15.
Okay.
One of those Gibson, the gold tones with the gold grill. They look really pretty.
Man, I haven't seen one of those in years. I haven't seen one of those in years.
I went recently to Denver and I got that Gibson Melody Maker.
Yeah.
And I found that Gibson amp. I used to have one like 15 years ago, and I let it go because I was probably, I don't even remember why. And I found one for a really good price, man, and I got it, and I'm never letting it go. I'm never,
That's the one. That's the one. Nice.
Yeah, and it's great condition, and the reverb is beautiful, and I just like that the knobs are on the back, on the bottom.
Yes. So
you see like a cab, so that's beautiful.
Man, that's cool. So it's a 112, kind of has this grill.
No, this is a 112 with a reverb. It's like an AC15, but Gibson.
So is it the one with the Les Paul knobs, or is it the one with the gold plate on the speaker?
The gold plate on the speaker. There's just one speaker with the reverb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because the other one is the one with the single channel just has the volume, the tone knob, and a reverb. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. So what pedals are you getting into lately? What do you love? Because I remember I talked to you before this, and you were selling an old Line 6, the FM4, the purple one.
Oh, dude, I was selling it, and then I guess I haven't used it in a while. I want to sell it, and I started recording some stuff, and I did a whole new song, like a whole song, just with that pedal. And I said, "Oh, I'm not selling this. I still have it." Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny, man. That's awesome.
No, I still have it. I have that, but I would say, yeah, man, the Capistan for me is very important.
Nice.
The Strymon.
Yes.
That's the imperative delay. besides that, if I had to have some, like the three that I need, like if I say, oh, I need this always, if I could have my way,
Yeah.
Would be that delay, just a pog, just that, the pog,
Yeah.
the electro harmonics, polyphonic octave, and the freeze. That's all I really would
Nice.
need.
So what do you use for like?
But I have a bunch of pedals, man. You know how it is.
Yeah, guitar players are kind of like hoarders. So what do you use? Do you use
Yeah,
over?
no, dude, I have back home. Back home, I didn't bring it here because it's just too heavy. But I have a Soldano GTO. Remember that pedal?
Whoa, nice. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the Soldano preamp. They used to be like $300. Now people sell them for I don't even know how much.
Yeah, those are kind of
I have them
crazy.
back home. Dude, they sound great. They
Nice.
sound great. But the problem with them is that the power on them is not DC, it's AC.
Yep.
So it's a big cable. So if you put AC and AC through the same amp, it always has this ground on it. So that's why I really never use it.
Crazy, man. That is amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I remember those pedals. They were huge, and they had.
Dude, they weigh like 10 pounds, 9 pounds. It's like a Les Paul. It's like metal heavy.
Imagine taking that on a pedal board.
Oh, I can tell you, I used to do it.
That is awesome, man. That is insane.
No, but they're great. I love that pedal, but it's almost as big as my whole pedal board now, with all the nano pedals and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Things are definitely changing in the pedal board realm. So we had this segment in the show, and we call it "What's in the Box." So I put something in a box, and I based it off just what I knew and what I heard about you, and then we
Okay.
wanted to get your take on what's in the box. So what I put in the box today was, and it fits right in with what you said, is I picked a pickup because it seems like your guitar collection has a bunch of different pickup styles and variations. So what's your go-to
Yeah.
pickup? What do you like playing the most?
Oh, if I had to, all right. So my country gent has. They're not the original pickups.
Okay.
They're 69 T-tops.
Oh, wow.
So those are my go-to.
Okay, okay. So what?
I would say that, and I have either that, like if I had to choose one thing for forever,
Yeah.
it would either be that like those like late 60s PAF
Yeah.
humbuckers, or man, this gets complicated because I'm torn between two. It's either like lipstick pickups, like the electro lipstick pickups,
Yes.
or like some really nice no-caster Telecaster pickups, like like a Telecaster bridge, Telecaster neck. That's it.
Nice. So
Those are like my favorite, like my two favorite. But I love P90s and I love everything else, and I use everything, but those are the ones that are unique,
Yeah.
Oh, I used to have some years ago one of the first Japanese duo jets,
okay, okay.
and those Filtertron pickups are beautiful, man. Are like in between the Telecaster and the PAF. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I get okay. So what do the T-tops give you? Like what sound is it that you're going for? If you could say like, oh, they sound like this and this, because
If I had to, they sound like those last Wes Montgomery albums.
okay.
When he was doing like the Beatles covers and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sound, like that big sound, and they sound bigger than any other guitar that I've had. With the combination of the hollow body, with that specific hollow body, because it's not full hollow, it's semi.
Okay, okay, okay.
So it sounds really dark, and I just like it. Like you've heard how I play. I don't really go for a high sound, trebly sound. I like the mid-low sound, the boomy.
Yeah.
I just like to fill out space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How do you because you play with a bass player and a drummer most of the time, right? So do you aim for the mids since the bass is taken out, or do you just crank the lows a lot?
No, I don't crank the lows. Well, not on the Gibson. The Gibson is naturally low, so the bass I usually leave it like right on noon.
Okay.
Depending on the amp, because like it depends on the amp. Like if I have a Blues Junior, so in the Blues Junior, for me, I find you just crank the mids and the bass and turn the treble like to 3, like really low, and that sounds perfect.
Nice, nice.
Because but it's because of the preamp it has.
Yeah.
But if I have this acoustic image, like the Pat Martino amp.
Yes.
And on that amp, I put it flat, but since the highs on that amp work different, they don't reach the K of proper Ks of the highs.
Okay.
You have to crank all the highs on it.
Okay.
And depending on the room, then I play with the treble, depending on the room. If it's a really boomy room, then just take a little bit of mids off.
Yeah.
And instead of raising the volume, a lot of people don't realize that they're playing and that you don't hear yourself as a guitarist. Oh, I can't hear myself. And you start raising the volume, but you still don't hear yourself. That's because you need mids. Like that's where the guitar lives. So you still need those mids, because if not, you're just going to sound like I don't know, like somebody's flushing a toilet bowl,
Yeah, man. Well, you spoke about Pat Martino, so I got to ask you, when your Gibson came out, that was also the year, I believe, that the Pat Martino model came out. Have you checked out the Pat Martinos?
The Gibson dudes. Oh my God. There's this guy back home that's like a Gibson guy, and he has all of them. And I tried the Pat Martino that has the old school 30s, 40s headstock, the small one.
Yes.
Dude, that guitar, it's just like this one, they sound very similar. That one, I would say. The pickups it brings have a bit more mid highs. These are a bit more mid low.
Okay.
But man, it's but you know how Gibson is. That's the thing with Gibson. Like out of every 10, maybe I'll like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. On a good day, because I've tried some 335s, man. That I've played like Epiphone casinos that feel better and are better made. It just depends. It's what they say. Like, is it a Monday or a Friday guitar? Like the guy had to have a good time on the weekend, and then on Monday he went to the factory. Oh, I'm gonna work great today. And then on Friday he's all sad. I want to go home. So if you get a Friday guitar, that's what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, dude, that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense because Gibson is a little notorious for being a little up and down with a QC.
Hey, they're surfers, man. They're quality surfers.
So what's on your radar? What have you seen lately that you're like, I want to try that out?
Man, try it out. I want to try those. What's the name? King of Tone. Have you seen the King of Tone amps?
King of Tone. Tone King. Or what?
Tone King, is it? It looks like a TV, like
yeah.
Dude, I saw that, and it reminds me of the TV I used to have growing up.
Nice.
Like one of those old TVs that was like fake wooden TV,
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I don't even want to try it. I just want to get it, like it just looks so nice. No, but I would say that, and besides that, I really want, like, what I really, really want in terms of like any gear, I would say that it's either one of those, either the Rosewood, that Rosewood Telecaster.
Yeah. Yes.
Like the Let It Be last concert on the rooftop guitar.
Yeah.
Either that, or they're doing it now that it's like that Telecaster. It's kind of like mint green with that neck on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I just want like a Telecaster with the all of it made out of rosewood. Let It Be is just that album. Let It Be Naked, not the actual original one. The naked version. That I found that's one of the best guitar sounds ever caught on tape.
Man, those things are heavy.
I've tried the one with the rosewood neck, not the rosewood body.
Dude,
but I haven't told they're heavy, but I've been
like 12 pounds heavy. A buddy of mine had one, and he was like, hey man, trying to get rid of this guitar, and I grabbed it and I almost dropped it because it was that heavy. But they sound beyond. They sound unlike anything.
Yeah, just learned that plugged specifically into a silver face twin reverb.
Oh, okay, yeah, drip edge.
Dude, that's one of the most pretty sounds. It's just
Nice, man. Well, tell me about the band. How did the band come together, and I mean, you told me a little bit about the drummer that you were playing with. His dad lived in Corpus, and you guys came and checked out Corpus.
oh, the bassist, yeah, the
Oh, the bass
bassist.
player.
So
Sorry,
we,
but yeah, how did you?
you know, so it's so I used to play with the bassist years ago, but he was a drummer,
Okay.
and but this was years ago, and then he started playing bass. Coincidentally, because we kind of needed bassists, there were no bassists,
Yeah.
you know, and it all happened because he got a gig somewhere, and
Okay.
he was like, "Hey man, I need a band to do this gig," and I'm like, "Cool, so I'll get some friends, you know."
Yeah.
And we got some friends going, and the gig went so well, we just decided to keep on playing, you know,
Nice.
and it was perfect.
So
And then we just started playing in Puerto Rico a lot, and but we had been playing for maybe a year, like we were gonna hit like a year,
okay.
and the hurricane came,
Oh man.
and that a couple of months that everything got kind of
Yeah. Turned upside down.
yeah, and then and then we just we needed to do something, so we just hit it even harder here because back home we were playing, but each of us were playing in different bands.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that we were doing this band specifically like for one of the gigs that Ali was getting.
Okay.
It just kind of flew, like how do you say it? Fluyó. It just kind of went with the flow,
Yeah.
like easier. Yeah, and it easy, man. You know how it is. Like sometimes you play with some people and it's kind of difficult, but sometimes it's just really easy, and you just keep doing it, and it keeps mounting and mounting, and it
Yeah.
works.
So
Yeah.
where did the name come from? San Juan Underground.
That's before we started playing.
Okay.
So yeah, I used to live in. We all used to live in Old San Juan.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and I have this friend that has a bar back home, and he was telling me like, "Hey man, like this Friday, there's like if you want, bring some friends and jam, play some jazz, like I'll get you just play and I'll pay you and we'll have a good time,
Nice.
And but then we started doing every Friday, and then we started doing Friday and Sunday, and people, and I would just always invite different friends. It was never like a band.
Yeah.
Like whoever friend I wanted to jam that week, oh, just come, So different bassists and drummers and pianists, like a bunch of people played, and people started asking, "Oh, what's the name of the band?" "Oh, yeah, the band is playing next Friday." "Oh, I'll come to see you guys. What's the name?" Everybody's asking, "What's the name?" And I was like, "Oh, we don't have a name." And I got tired of explaining to people, like, "No, we're just jamming." It gets tiring to say the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And we all lived in San Juan, and we, like, individually, everybody was kind of part of, like, quote unquote, the underground scene. So I
Okay.
said, "Hey, we're San Juan Underground,"
Nice.
and the name just stuck.
Nice, man. So with a hurricane kind of stirring things up, does it kind of feel like the same thing's happening right now with the pandemic?
Yeah, it's. See, this is the thing. After what happened with the hurricane, this is not so bad. I feel,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
compared to what we went through, like, and what people go through after like a really bad hurricane.
Yeah.
Because it's a pandemic. Yeah, I understand it's horrible, and socially we go crazy because we are social beings.
Yeah.
But man, we have electricity in the house.
Yeah.
We have water. We have food. We can get gas. We can drive wherever we want. Like with the hurricane, there's no food. There's no gas.
Wow.
There's no power. Like there's no, like, even if you have your phone charged, like all the antennas went out, so you couldn't even use internet, or you couldn't even, like, it took me like a month to find out that my grandmother was okay.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it is the pandemic. It's just it's a social thing, like, yeah, we just gotta compromise a little bit, and because if some of these guys that fight against wearing a mask gets my mom sick, there's gonna be one less of those guys in the planet.
Yes, definitely, man.
Yeah.
So are you guys taking this time to write? Or I saw that you were recording with Mr. Alex, the man, Mr. Alex Hernandez, over there at
Oh,
yes,
Alejandro.
yes, yes. We had him on the show.
I love Alejandro. Man, he's a great bassist. He doesn't say it, but he's actually a pretty good bassist, man. Like,
Yes.
I didn't even know. He was like, yeah, man, I like this. Hey, yeah, yeah. And somebody then showed me a video of him playing. And I'm like, dude, you never told me you played bass like that, man. Like, we would have been playing a while ago.
So are you guys?
Oh, yeah, we've done some recordings with Alex.
Nice.
We're also like doing some like we all have like pretty decent equipment that we're using to record and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're transatlantic collaboration right now, because the guys were coming in July.
Okay.
And we're gonna do like dates from July until October or November.
Oh wow.
But then the pandemic just changed everything, all the gigs. You know how it is.
Yeah. So are you the main guy in Corpus, or are the guys in Corpus too? I know your bass player's from Corpus.
Oh, well, I'm usually more. I spend more time in the States than the guys.
Okay.
And I'm usually in between here in Florida and Puerto Rico, but I'm mainly here because I just, I don't want to hear Bad Bunny or anything like all the time.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's a joke, guys. I don't like Bad Bunny, but I don't hate him either. And no, but the guys are there. It's like everything, depending on where we have the gigs. Well, that's where we are.
Nice.
But if there's not gonna be gigs, I'd rather be here and be able to drive wherever I want.
Yeah. I get you. So let me talk to you about.
Yeah, we are working. It's a couple. Hopefully, before the year is over, it's either gonna be a really long album or a double album.
Yeah.
That San Juan is releasing. The goal right now is before the year is over, have the album out.
Nice.
That's the San Juan goal. Yeah.
Nice. So how many songs are the instrumental? Do you have guest, or what's that look like?
Oh, it's a lot of everything.
Nice.
It's a lot of everything. Yeah. Like originally, the real plan that we've been thinking about is having at least 4 albums worth of material before the year is over.
Wow, that's a lot.
So there is a lot of material, and a lot of it is, you wouldn't even guess it's the same band.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. So are you doing that all with Alex, or are you doing it partly at your studio?
We did some stuff with Alex, and now we're also just recopilating a lot of recordings we have.
Okay.
To get the bulk of it, to just finish everything.
Yeah.
But we are we're recording wherever, like everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Like at our houses and everywhere, wherever, get different sounds. I find it's like using different amps. The more equipment you have and the more different studios you use, and the more different sounds, and it's not, it doesn't get boring when you're listening to a mix and suddenly you hear the same amplifier and with the same setting on every song, like that stuff.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear that. So you're planning on getting that out before the end of the year?
Yeah.
Nice.
That is the purpose of life right now. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you could have any musician play on your album, who would it be?
Ooh, any musician play on my album.
Now it can be somebody maybe that's not here, or maybe somebody that's here. So it don't feel limited by, they have to be alive.
Here, but are we talking alive or dead or just alive?
Either one. Let's give me your top 2, alive or not alive.
Man, I would say my first choice. Man, if I would say if Jaco Pastorius were alive,
Nice.
He would record those bass lines with the fretless.
Yes.
That's just, he's the only guy that can do it, and you're like, oh, he's not imitating anybody.
Yeah.
I'd say that guy, but definitely Miles Davis.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get into Mike Stern?
One of those two. If it were to recording, if I was going to record.
Yeah.
Either one of those two.
So, what was your favorite guitar player that played with Miles?
Guess.
I'm thinking. Oh man, I don't even know. My favorite is Mike Stern because he was just
That's your
so,
favorite?
so
That's my
aggressive.
second
Okay,
favorite.
okay. What's your first?
I would say John Scofield.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, that guy's
John
crazy.
Scofield for me, he is. I think John Scofield that I have ever been able to experience, and see, and he is the most complete guitarist that I would say has ever been. Like in
Wow.
terms of, he can play any style. Like he can play jazz, but then he has those albums with Medeski, Martin, and Wood, and it's funk.
Yeah,
And he can play funk, he can play blues, he can play heavy stuff. Just his versatility in terms of different styles of music. It's one of those guys that you say, oh, like you can say of him, oh, this guy's been playing jazz all his life. Or you can say, this guy's been playing blues all his life. But you can also say, this guy is a funk player all his life. It's
yeah,
like he really three really good guitarists in one, and he's the one that I would say that I aspire more to be like.
yeah. Actually, this podcast is named after John Schofield because when the pandemic happened, he put out a YouTube called Bandemic, and it was just a live recording of him and his friends doing some songs, and they did
Oh,
country songs, they did like some really out there jazz, and I was like,
yeah, yeah, that's right. And country, you believe he's a country player, but then he does jazz, and it's like, dude, but how good is this guy? Like how? Like I'm telling you, man, like he is like, because like what I told you about Joe Pass, technically he's the most impressive for me,
yeah,
but my personal favorite that I would say, oh man, this is the guy, is Schofield. Like no, there's no way.
yeah.
Either him or John Abercrombie. Like
Oh
that type,
man, yeah. John Abercrombie is.
like that dark stuff. Like that meaty, like
Yes, yes. So let me ask you this: you've been around the
shout
coast.
out to John Schofield.
Yes.
Shout out to John Schofield.
Thanks for the name, John. So if you were to tell a young musician, "Hey man, you want to be a guitar player, you need to work on this," what would it be?
Timing.
Timing. Okay, okay. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Practice with the metronome, please, until you stop hearing the metronome.
Whoa, yeah, nice.
I would say that, and at least, because I know how kids are. It even happened to me. Oh yeah, I want to play, but then the whole weekend you're just off playing and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say at least if you could at least practice 15 minutes a day,
Okay.
like practice, like really practice 15 minutes a day with a metronome, and and start at 35.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because if you can't play slow, why are you going to play fast if you can't even play slow?
Yeah.
And that's all. And you know how it is. Like that's a big problem. Like timing. Like people drag in and go back, and it's even worse when they just keep slowing down, slowing down.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So what are you working on these days? What's something that you're like, working on with your guitar playing?
Oh, well, right now all that the chord melody stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're playing with a pick?
Trying. No, hand. Like I play with both. I usually hand and the nails at the
Okay.
same time, like the pick and the nails.
Yeah.
But for that, like the Joe Pass type of stuff, just the hand.
Man.
Just trying to imitate him. You can't go wrong trying to imitate him.
Yeah, like but he's so fast. Like I can't like even I've seen videos and just his hand by itself is faster than my pick playing.
And he does the picking, but thumb and he's going like that.
Okay, okay.
And it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is crazy. So let me ask you this: like in the coastal bend, what do you see that's kind of happening right now? Like, are musicians like working together, or do you see like kind of little bubbles of people? What do you see happening in the coastal bend music wise?
But I think what's happening now is all the after the pandemic. Before the pandemic, it was a bit more little groups and stuff.
Yeah.
But now, like the better musicians are kind of like getting together,
Yeah.
and it's kind of cool because some music is gonna happen. A lot of music is gonna be done this year in Corpus. There's a bunch of people working. I'm not supposed to say some, but there is a lot of people working, and it's gonna be really good.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, it's just cool. Like it's weird, man. It's a weird place. Corpus is a weird place, like because you get that duality, like people trying to start out, but then you have these people that nobody knows who they are, and they're like, whoa.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's what we're doing with the podcast is we're trying to expose Corpus to the people that are playing music and just kind of like, open their eyes to like there's monsters here in town. We were talking yesterday to Alex and then to a few other people there from Corpus Christi, and a lot of people don't know that they're just monsters. There's monsters on every corner.
Here, man. There's a bunch. There's really good players, and it's starting like just the people just gotta back each other up,
Yeah.
And I try to do that, with my friends. Like if they're playing, if you're a musician, try and go see them. Because then how musicians are, they complain that nobody comes see us and see me. But dude, you gotta go see them, and pump them up,
Yeah. So where do you see yourself in the next 2 or 3 years as a band and as a musician?
Man, like I've been doing this all my life, so it's a daily. I just see. It's a very complicated question to answer, because you never know what can happen, But I just see a lot of music. It's all I really see,
Yeah. Nice. Well, hopefully after this pandemic, we can get out more. You know what I mean, and kind of travel a little bit more and get to see more venues and more stuff like that start to open up. Right now there's not a whole lot of venues open in Corpus because of everything that's going on, but I saw you guys at the Exchange the other night, right?
Yeah, there's some places. Let me see, the Exchange, Portain, like guitarist is bringing some bands out there. Besides that, let me see, there's some places that are doing like it's less people, like Cinnamon Shores in between, like 361 halfway to Portain.
Okay.
They're doing some stuff there. Actually, I'm playing tomorrow there at that restaurant Lisabella's.
Okay.
It's like a duo jazz guitar thing.
Nice.
Things are slowly opening up, and there's some stuff like that we're doing in Victoria next month.
Okay, yeah.
Like, but it's like little pockets, but the places that are open, but like half the places are not, like more than half of the places are not open. But,
yeah.
Slowly, it'll hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully get back to normal. Well, man, dude, like, is there anything you want to cover that we haven't covered in the interview so far? Anything that you like to talk about?
Let me see. We talked about decent stuff. Well, let me see. I would say, what do you think about this? All of these pandemics. I would like to know your.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, the band hasn't been able to play, so we've been recording, and I got to a point where I was just like so thirsty to be creative that I was like, I'm gonna do a podcast. and so literally we've been doing podcasts, what I mean? So I don't know, man. I like to err on the side of caution, like I don't go out very much, and I just kind of take it every day slow. And if it happens and we get back to normal faster, that's fine. But if we don't go back to normal faster, I'm totally okay with that, because I'm really kind of I can be inside for 20 days and not realize it. I don't have to.
I like staying home. I like staying, and I've bought so much gear in the pandemic. It's actually been like, it's weird because it hasn't been that, like, it hasn't treated me bad, at least, thankfully,
Yeah.
in terms of being able to generate, currency for myself,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, do you mind if I ask you another
No, go
question?
ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Like, what do you think? Because this is a thing, like, for example, in June, in June, I played exchange, right?
Yeah.
And the guys from Argitos backed me up
Okay.
to do a gig. And like a week later, almost all of us were sick.
Oh, wow.
We got sick. Thankfully, like, it was all mild. We all got mild cases and stuff.
Okay.
We got it that was like around June, and some, like, a lot of people got upset. Like, oh, you guys were playing, like, you guys went out to play, and you know how it's normal to get upset. I understand.
Yeah.
What do you think of the bands that are playing right now? What do you think? Like, if I were to ask you your opinion on what do you think about that? Like, the bands that are playing right now.
So, our drummer, Connor Church, he's in Austin right now, and he's playing. He's a working musician. He's a professional musician. He's toured the world, or definitely the country, and he's playing. And man, I have so many friends in Nashville, and they're playing and they're touring full time. And the only thing about it is, hey man, be as safe as you can. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to do it, if you have to put food on the table, I'll never fault you for putting food on the table, because a lot of people have families, a lot of people have commitments and stuff like that, and it's just like, hey, be safe, care about the other people just as much as you do. Wear your mask and try to be cool, and do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna fault somebody for taking care of themselves.
No, I get it, and it's like even if people get upset, I understand. Everybody has the right to feel how they need to,
Yeah.
And hey, I wanted to say this. This weekend I'm gonna be recording with Nargitos. They're actually gonna do an EP.
Nice.
And I'll be playing with them, and it's gonna be cool. We're gonna be recording with them. So I'll like, once some stuff is recorded, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And from the San Juan stuff also, I'll send you some stuff. And hey, and for you have been, you're from Corpus, right? You've always been, like, you're a local from Corpus.
I'm from Kingsville, which is 30 miles.
Oh, Kingsville
over there.
is just a suburb of Corpus. I know.
We're kind of weird and culty in Kingsville.
No, but I've been told that Kingsville has the best music program down here.
Oh yeah,
from Texas A&M.
Yeah, so
like the really nice musicians that I've met from the area, like jazz guys.
Yeah,
they like the young kids, like in their early 20s. They have been studying there, so it is a pretty like there's something in the water in Kingsville that makes musicians play better.
Well, dude, believe it or not, we talked about that with a bunch of musicians like Alex and Nick Garcia and Austin Skinner. You'll see them on the podcast, but we're all from Kingsville, smaller towns, and what we found, or what at least we're discussing, is in the smaller towns you have nothing to do, so you just play. And I'm from Kingsville, and I played in jazz bands from 6th grade through 5 years of college. So I got to play in the jazz bands in Kingsville for 5+ years, and we got to travel and just got to do some big jazz festivals. So like, there's nothing else to do, So it's like, man, let's just play music, you know what I mean? And it was awesome. But I'm really glad you said that, because that makes us all feel good, makes us all feel proud to be there and to have been through that program, because yeah, man, not many people know that the jazz program in Kingsville is crazy, and it's just getting bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting bigger.
Usually now, if the guys from San Juan are not here, I play with this bassist. I don't know if you know him, Art Fonseca.
Yeah, I know her.
Young kid, plays upright bass, man, and that kid, he just graduated, and he plays great, man. I mean, it's like one of those musicians. You just sit down. You don't even have to rehearse. You don't have to worry. All right, yeah, I'll just tell you where we are, and we're good. So he's good, and everybody like the better musicians. I'm like the ones that I've met, and I'm like, oh man, this guy. They like at least 85% of them tell me they went to A&M Kingsville.
Yeah, it's just like Puerto Rico. You can't be bad. You gotta be good or you're nothing.
Yeah, if not, just go somewhere that there's no people.
Man, dude. So where can people go to find you online? What's the best place to find out where you're playing and how to get in touch with you?
You guys can check the San Juan Underground Facebook page, because right now we're working on like an internet page that you can just get all the music right there, like do the easier for people to get everything.
Yeah.
So we're still working on that, so it's proper, for everybody.
Yeah.
You can find there, or my Instagram. It's Félix en cuerdas, Félix on strings, but in Spanish.
Okay.
Félix en cuerdas. You can check it out there. And besides that, you can just call me.
Nice. We'll put your number at the bottom. So, man.
No, but yeah, like I said, and I'm also I'm doing collaborations with musicians from Puerto Rico, so I'm doing also a lot of recordings there. So in my Instagram, you can see like everybody that I'm working with and etc. All that stuff.
Nice, man. Well, we'll link all of that at the bottom of the page so that everybody can go and find you on the internets, stalk you and check out your gear and stuff.
Hey, just don't steal anything.
Well, man, thank you so much for being part of the podcast, man. We'll definitely have to get you back for part 2, and we'll get a little more nerdy with guitar. But dude, thank you so much for being part of this, dude.
I'll show you all the talk.
Man, thanks so much, dude. We'll catch you real soon.
All right, brother. Be safe.
All right, bye. Guys, thanks for watching the Bandemic Podcast. We hope you enjoyed that episode, and we'll see you again next week.